God told Noah that he would give man 120 years before the flood. Now, at that time, people lived hundreds of years. And so it wasn't as much a life expectancy as it was God told Noah that in 120 years the flood is going to come. And that's what happened. So Genesis 6:3, my spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. And so God told Noah that, and he, of course, commanded him to build the ark. And 120 years later, that is when the flood came. And so I believe that that's what he was specifically speaking of, that man had 120 before the destruction would come. And, of course, again, this wasn't a life expectancy because they lived hundreds of years. I think Noah lived to be 630 years or something like that. And over time, life expectancies began to decrease after that, but it still took a long time. Now, by the time Moses came, life expectancies were definitely lower into the hundreds. And we see Moses here lived to be 120, and Aaron lived to be 123. And so that's important as we look at Psalm 90, which we're going to look at in a minute. But 120, we don't want to just completely disregard 120 because it is very prophetic. God gave man 120 years until his wrath, the flood. And God has also given man 120 jubilees. Just the simple math, if you take that man has been given 6,000 years, every, 50 years, that's a jubilee, 49, and then the 50th, the jubilee. And so that would be 120 jubilees that man has before God's wrath. And so through Jacob's trouble, of course, and the tribulations. So then we have the millennial reign of Christ. It was after Moses' death at 120 that Israel went into the promised land. And it will be after the 120th Jubilee that Israel, as well as all mankind, is going to be going into the promised land of the millennial reign of Christ, because all these are typologies, all these are types and shadows. God loves his patterns. And as we look at today, his patterns are just so encouraging as we are really on the brink of seeing him face to face.